Alright, so this is the stream where I'm going to do a director's commentary of sorts. I did a highlight video of one of Celery EKG's Heroes of Conton City playthroughs. You should watch them, they're very fun. But yeah, I did a highlight of the first session, and I thought it was so fun to make that I reached out to Celery and I asked, hey, can I react to this video? And she said sure, so that's what I'm gonna do here, because I love editing and I love to pretend that I know stuff about it.
I am Celery. I am clearly.
So this is some of the first editing I did. I decided to add a little introduction to all of the characters. I figured that because the thing with these sessions is that there's a lot of still images. There aren't really a lot of movements. So I figured that I would try to basically giving the viewers more stuff to look at, making it hopefully a little bit more engaging. So basically what I did here was that I just took this Celery render, which by the way, Celery was awesome because she decided to, I asked if I could have some renders and she was like, yeah, sure, and she sent me over some. She was like, I trust you with this, so like, and I was like, oh my god, Celery is trusting me. I have to do this correct. I have to do this right. I can't fuck this up. But anyway, so I got the renders and I decided to just go crazy with it. So basically I just made a sort of track where she bounces around a bit, and then I decided to just take that and apply it to, like, she goes through the wall and the other wall, and she even goes behind the head.
And I'm a Majin.
It's kind of goofy, I don't. It is a little. Of course, Victor also gets his own intro. You'll see when the characters change, like, their pose, they kind of have a little bounce in it, and that's basically just me going and making it so that for the two in-between frames where they bounce, I basically just squash them a little bit. If you watch the channel The Odd Ones Out, that's basically what he did, and I think that's where I learned it from. So yeah, I wanted to have his name also appear like Celery's, and Anti's name is going to be the same. I decided to have it sort of like Dragon Ball Z, where the C is red and the Dragon Ball part is yellow. But the problem with V's name is that it only has one letter, so I decided to just make it red because it's cool.
The boots and the yellow sash.
Yeah, I make the boots and the sash fly into him. And the idea is that he gets the sash and he starts to shake and then
Fun stuff. But
Oh yeah.
boom,
V's
there you have him.
He's the taller one.
Oh, by the way, this is the. I already laughed to this so much when I edited it and when I like rewatched it. But this is probably the funniest edit. I do Prince so incredibly dirty here. You can just barely see Prince's eyes sort of peek up. So yeah, I'm a little mean, but it's all in good fun. It's a very interesting
generally,
group.
friendly
A Kai, an android, and a Majin.
as a fleet.
Alright, this.
Would you like to
Alright. So Anti and Prince. I watched some of the sessions. I haven't watched all of them. The thing about Prince, I find his character hilarious because he's supposed to be like, he doesn't swear. Oh hey Celery, splendid. I'm really glad you could join. Yeah, that part specifically made me spit out of my coffee. It was fantastic. But yeah, the thing about Prince's character is that, like, he doesn't swear and he just tries to make friends and everything. But then he just suddenly comes with, like, these roasts, and he's so... And sometimes he's even a bit cocky. Maybe that's just my interpretation of the character, but you'll see what I mean later. But basically I try to capture that, and he's also kind of, you know, he's Magic Man, so just... he just kind of pops in, basically, and he slides down. There's the bounce again that I talked about earlier. Instead of to just make the characters look more animated, I tried to stretch them out and sort of squish them a little bit. I think sometimes I just have them move up, but this makes them look more alive. Yeah, I don't think Celery, if you're still here, I don't think you were here when I first talked about it, but I can definitely feel some, like, part of Kokichi in Prince's character. Oh yeah, oh wait, I just told this. Sorry, I watched it so many times. Yeah, that edit where I just add a million different Princes. It was just, I figured, all right, so Prince is bullshitting here. So how can I like sort of communicate that? Well, I pull up this cocky image of him and just make it appear a million more times. My favorite part is the the prince that comes up, and then the prince that comes up behind him, and then the tiny little prince that comes up behind the tiny prince, and he also has a little cowboy hat.
Like, did you guys know that Vegeta is Trunks' dad?
What? Okay, so here is kind of the actual introduction. This effect is awful. I don't know. I just tried to squish him slowly. It looks like a cardboard cutout of Prince that's falling backwards. This is the
Like,
best
not
character
top,
detail.
but
The
sorry.
second I heard about this, next time I had a session with my friends, I just had to bring this up because this was it's such a simple idea, but it's so genius. The mouth I just make you, which it's a little cursed right here.
Fake.
This one of my
Drawn on.
favorites. So I was like, okay, I had the idea that she was trying to bring up her pen and just sort of draw the face, but I figured, wouldn't it be funnier if she like drew a really bad mouth? This is the mouth that I added, by the way. Celery wouldn't do a mouth like this. She would do a way better mouth. But yeah, what if she like drew it and then she just sort of took her hand and was just like, yeah, I just love how I made the pen also go across her face like that. I did go frame by frame for that part. It wasn't that many frames because it goes pretty fast. It just looks nice. It makes me happy. So this was actually the very first edit I did.
Dragon Ball.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to add some things in the background for people to like watch and look at. So I watched through the video a little bit, watched through the VOD, and I decided on just adding a bit of screenshots from the actual Dragon Ball universe website, trying to just show what the game's all about, showing races, transformations. All those previous ones were images, by the way, but this one was screen recording because I couldn't get an image that was sort of long enough to be able to zoom in and sort of make it go down without making it look super pixelated and blurry and stuff. And of course, when Celery starts talking about creating signature techniques, I need to put that on the screen. And this is just me in a brand new character sheet, which you can download from the Dragon Ball Universe website. I'm just making a random ass signature technique. I'm not really putting any thought into it because I just want to do it as fast as possible.
What your signature?
I'm not. This is not my real speed. I did speed it up quite a bit. I wanted to have some aspects, some positive aspects, but also some negative aspects. And it's called Puce Ismuth because puce, I think it's like a pinkish color or something, and the ismuth, it's like Panama is an ismuth between North America and South America. And I figured that the beginning of the blast, because yeah, by the way, I did not make that intro. That wonderful intro. Shoot, I forgot to make. Okay, so this image right here, it's a screenshot from the intro in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So basically what I did to get this screenshot was that I took like 3 or 4 different screenshots and just pasted them together. I made it to remove Trunks and Cronoa because they're flying here in the background and I didn't want them to. And I think it looks alright. Yeah, and then it transitions from there to the actual gameplay. I'm a little proud of that transition. But yeah, these introductions are pretty hilarious. I wish I could have animated these parts, but sometimes you just have to stop and think like, when do I want this to be done? And I didn't want this to take 2 months.
No.
Okay, yeah. I just went and took that render and put it in GIMP and just did a little smearing tool. Yeah, the smearing tool. Yes, that is a Goku. All right, Celery, I'm so sorry. I had I thought of the joke and it was just too funny. I'm sorry. Oh, hi, Auntie. Celery, you liar. I know so much about Dragon Ball.
We got it.
But who do I trust? But who do I trust? Who I trust? You're not. No one. You're not lying to me, are you?
No, let's just leave me behind.
Oh yeah. No, let's just leave. Sometimes I don't really know what makes me decide to animate a certain scene. No, wait. I think the thing that made me animate this is what comes up later. All right, never mind. This is my favorite edit. Already when I watched the VOD, I was like laughing my ass off at this. Just picturing, he's smiling in this image, but I'm like picturing V just sitting alone, like raining on a park bench, like super sad. I think the more sad it is, the funnier it is. It's kind of messed up.
I can't run as fast.
You say that. I do a little zoom in from time to time. Just adds a little bit of variety. You know, by the way, people who say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, I don't know. I don't really buy that. I can easily like live without breakfast. Is that just me? I feel like I'm not even hungry when I start my day. I almost feel sometimes I even feel more energized when I just like wake up. I don't even eat breakfast and then I just have lunch. I don't know, just having breakfast and then just having lunch immediately after. I can't do it.
A weird portal thing around her face like happens again and just what?
I love that sound. Man, Celery and Anti are in my chat. I'm so happy. Yeah, I decided to add a little. Can I pause in time? All right. Yeah, if you didn't hear it before, I'm using Media Player to play this, and I'm so scared of touching this this bar right here, because I'm afraid it's going to screw everything up. I did the border here. I mean, it's nothing special, it's just 3 colors, a little sort of gradient in GIMP, and then I just add the video on top of it, and I did also add a little like old-timey effect, just to give it some flavor.
Your other option, Cyber Surprise.
Yeah!
Oh Jesus! Sorry, I was reading Celery in chat, and this caught me off guard so bad. Thank you, Celery. Yeah, okay. I mean, I had to like just do something here, because like just watching this the first time was so funny, because Celery gets so excited and I just had to communicate that somehow, and I did the screen shake effect, which I do later in the combat when you're actually battling and hitting people. Yeah, that's the only noise she ever makes. Just the sorry. Yeah, and this is Raditz and the Cyberman. It's the same thing.
Destroy these sus before they can get to the Saiyan runt.
If I had more time, I would have added Celery sort of coming up and shaking a bit, but there were already enough edits here, and I didn't want to have too much edits in one place. I wanted to kind of have them spread out.
Celery, you want to just hold up 1 for dinosaur and 2 for side.
The emoji mode here was a complete. I thought about like, was that emoji like meant to represent? I guess that's what it ended up doing, but that's not what you meant when you sent it. I guess it's still hilarious, but I guess this might be a good time to sort of yeah, I did it. All right. Well, anyway, I might as well bring this up right now because I don't really know when I would. I just wanted to show like this is DaVinci Resolve. This is what I edited. The first thing I did basically was that I imported a file and sort of tried to trim it down, which is you have seen it like all the time in the highlights that I did here, but I haven't really brought up a specific situation. So there are a few cuts, but basically what I try to do is sort of just trim it down, make it flow a little bit better, and try to cut out as much stuff as possible to try to make it like so that it's just the best parts. And it still ended up being like 1 hour and 10 minutes. You see, some of these parts have like so many edits that they can't really even show it in the timeline. And then there's this part, which I think we'll get to later. Let's see what part this is. Oh yeah, this is the part where like Prince just pops off. Yeah, that part, so much happened, I couldn't even cut a single part. But yeah, this is just the first part, and alright. If there's any editor like in the future or something that sees this, look, I'm not like an expert or anything. I don't know how to handle timelines or anything. They're probably gonna laugh at me, but like what I did was I made this, and then I decided to split this up into different timelines, basically. So we have this one I named Before Combat, which where I just copied and pasted the part before they start to fight the Cybermen, which makes it a little bit easy to handle. And then I export that file so that I just have it as a video, and then I add it to the main timeline right here. And I think this is the one that I exported. So yeah, basically I export a lot of videos and then I paste them together, which is probably not the ideal way to do it, but it's the way that works for me, so... Yeah, here we go. I've seen this part so many times. I mean it in a positive way, by the way, when you say Kokichi vibes. It's my favorite V3 character. It's because I have gremlin energy. Oh god, can you hear me drinking? I just have a water next to me. It's not alcohol. Imagine I was like drinking wine while doing this. In the beginning I'm doing like fine, and at the end I'm just smash drunk.
Action please.
Ah, the French.
Champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
I got a nat 10.
So-
for
No, I didn't hear anything, but that would be weird. Funny. Would it be funny? I don't know. When I think of a crit, I think of like you gotta have a sound effect or something. So I had a little bounce and a little down sound effect. Just to add a little more punch to it. By the way, there's a part later in this video. I was so upset when I found out. I had already sent the file to Celery, where I made the little bounce, but I didn't add the sound effect. I was like, God damn it, it's fine, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't bother me. And well, I figured if it didn't bother Celery, because I believe she watched through it, then I guess it's fine. It's fine, Celery, it's not your responsibility.
to do that.
I just mainly thought it was funny.
Prince just like climbed the mountain.
I had to.
going on the stairs.
When I thought about climbing the mountain, I immediately thought of that scene, and I had to add Prince's face to it. Did I tell you that you play the characters perfectly? I really love how the characters interact with each other.
I'm so proud of us for getting here.
I especially love Prince's optimism. Hit to leave in about half an hour, unfortunately. Alright. Yeah, that's Cinnamon. He gets a lesser introduction. He's not a main character.
Oh, he sounds awesome.
Anyway. Wait, what?
See, like, where the hell did that come from? I didn't even remember saying that. Yeah, tell that to the court.
And Celery has... I think she just has like a teal one.
Okay, so the deal with that one was that I had the idea of just like showing off the different scout colors, and then it was like, oh wait, but Celery, she says the wrong color, so I sort of made a joke about that.
Where the scroll kind of like clicks into to start registering.
Yeah.
and he starts.
I love the Windows sound effects. By the way, about these sound effects, a lot of these I just downloaded from YouTube. You can like find like websites like download this sound effect and stuff like that. But I needed a lot of Windows sound effects. Actually, what I ended up doing was that I set up a virtual machine, which is basically just a computer inside a computer of Windows XP. And like I went into the files. Actually, I'm gonna load up. I'm gonna load up Windows XP and just show you. Yeah, here we. What the fuck? I think my PC is haunted. Yeah, is this nostalgic for any of you guys? Well, it is for me. God, I love this aesthetic. Why can't they have this Windows right now? The Windows they have right now is like the most boring as like I don't know if you've been on Twitter or something, but there's this style called Fruit Gear Arrow, which is basically just sort of this this style, like sort of shading and bright, very optimistic. My documents? No. It was my yeah. This is a Windows XP stream right now. I know, me too. Like. It sort of ended, I don't know, Windows 7 was great, I liked Windows 7, and basically everything before that. Windows 8 was kind of the downfall. Yeah, here we go. Alright, yeah, so when you download guest editions for VirtualBox, you can drag and drop files from your virtual machine to your actual desktop. So yeah, here we just have all of the chimes. They don't make these sounds like they used to. Like, some of these sounds I haven't even heard before. And yeah, that's the one I used, hardware insert. Also, another reason I didn't want to, like, use newer sound effects was because I didn't want any person to, like, think, oh shit, something is happening with my PC. Because I don't really think anyone uses Windows XP anymore. Let's see here. Where's the one that's, like... Yeah, here. Dun! Like, the sound effects that they have right now, when, like, bad stuff happens to your Windows program, it's like... Doo-doo-doo! Like... Oh, I'm sorry, I think there's something wrong with your computer, like, maybe try, like, run a scan check or something, like, but don't panic or something. While, like, when something bad happened to your, like, old computers, the system would be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna die! Seriously, this actually scared me when I was little. The critical stop. I was scared of using my grandpa's computer because I didn't want to hear this. Alright, enough fucking Windows XP, whatever. Gushing about better aesthetics. Oh no, I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Oh jeez, did that peak the mic?
Celery Celery's face is turning yellow.
I had to reach out to Celery to like
Oh wow!
ask,
You guys went up
does
against
her whole
Celery
face
for
turn
that one?
yellow? Is it just her
Her
cheeks?
face is-
I will admit, a lot of the times I felt like I can add an edit here.
Computer, but
Nah,
still in the
I don't
conversation.
wanna. I'm too lazy.
Smack the window of this thing. Like, how do we get in? How do we get in?
Yeah, that sound effect was actually made by me. I have this water jug, and I just put it next to the camera and then I added some reverb to it to make it sound sort of more echoey. Alright, yeah, so then there's this part where this whole vortex thingy, there's this website called Pizza Bay, which is basically just basically you can download it and use it however you want. And the time machine, I did make this in Source Filmmaker. It's not as hard as it looks. Like even me, and I know nothing about animating, but I've done a few very simple stuff in Source Filmmaker, and this was very simple as well. I just found this time machine model on the workshop, so you can't see it up here on the big screen, but if you see down here below in the timeline where I'm sort of hovering my mouse, you can see that I had the map I was using when I animated that was a special green screen map, so I could just easily key it out, and you can see it's green screen because you can like see the green in the glass. But you know, maybe it's like green tinted glass. And yeah, this only had like one root transform, so I basically just have to move it, and then I added a spin. Anyone in this chat could definitely like pick up Source Filmmaker and just learn to do something like this real quick. Yeah, I love that line. I had to add it somewhere. I will admit, this whole combat part, it is the majority of the video. I didn't really add as much edits as I wanted to. I mostly added edits in the beginning. They were pretty tight packed, and then they were a little more sparse here. What I did mostly to sort of try and compensate for that was that I added these bubbles that will appear later, and I tried to add some effects as well. I did add some edits as well, but well, I hope it's worth the highlight title. That's what I'm trying to say. I figured people would be confused watching this if they don't know the. All right, I didn't add the effect on all of the temps because I didn't want it to lose its impact, so to speak. In a bit, Cody is gonna say something like, "Oh yeah, I didn't know how to add like numbers to them." So I was like, "Wait, I can do that." So I added numbers to them. In the end, I'm not even sure if it helped that much, but it did add a little. It did make for a pretty funny joke.
Each player gets 3 actions.
It's a little Goku gif. No reason, just
other stuff like charging up
felt like
power.
adding it. I didn't add a speech bubble here. I thought Celery explained it pretty well, and I'm not sure how large that bubble would have been. I'm sure February will be the month.
Kyle.
Ah yeah, and the Kyle part, that's funny. Figure I would add a sort of like failure sound effect just to really hammer down how sad that was. And yeah, I didn't have a speech bubble here either because I thought Cody explained it well.
Wait.
Wait, no, an editing mistake. No.
Wait.
This is what I mean. See, look, there's a 1, 3, 4, and a Kyle, and it's not supposed to be a 1, 3, 4, and a Kyle. Whatever. It doesn't annoy me. It doesn't annoy me. But if I didn't notice it after all the freaking times I rewatched this, then... Well, I even forgot to talk about that joke I made, because, like, okay, the whole point of that joke before I, like, got distraught over that editing mistake was that, like, first I played the failure sound, and then I, like, just reversed it. So that people were like, oh, when Prince started saying like, wait, it's not actually a botch, because I have my celestial potential. Yeah, when I do YouTube videos, like, my least favorite part is probably like watching... I love that edit so much. Yeah, that tiny cowboy edit, heavily inspired by when the Game Grumps played Super Mario 3D World. Barry made he made actually sort of like editing tutorials, not too unlike what I'm doing right here, and yeah, and that was inspired by the like Toad baby. Yeah, I stole it. I stole from Barry. I probably wouldn't have done this anyway, because it would have been way too stupid. But like, just imagine if I took like a text-to-speech, like a real shit text-to-speech, and I just added that when Cody said 2 and he just said Kyle instead. So he would say like, alright, here comes Cyberman 1 and Kyle.
Prince was almost in trouble immediately.
That's okay.
Well, unless I'm hungry, then
I can't get over. I love how Anti. Damn, I should have said this when Anti was here, but I love how Anti plays the tiny cowboy. That's okay. I believe in myself. Yeah. Okay. You can see here. Actually, I don't have pulse. This speech bubble is pretty gigantic compared to some of the other ones. I think it wouldn't be that much of an issue, however, since you know the screen doesn't really move, so I don't think people really mind to have a large speech bubble come up, unless it's actively like blocking something. But I don't think. Oh yeah, and this as well, I had to like clarify some things because I couldn't just use like the future rules because then it will like because some of these things are like kind of similar, but some of the like new rules in 0.9 are like completely different. Like the cutting attack, I think, is completely different, and I couldn't use like the old one because then people would be confused when they play the game and it's 0.9 and the rules are different. I mean, I know they're gonna get outdated eventually either way, but I just figured I would add a disclaimer. And yeah, and later I will try to put like both the newer version and the old version.
You hear a screech.
Jesus. The funny thing is that I use Cyberman voice lines later in the video, but I don't need to use it right here.
super cool.
Okay, I used one there. I wonder if people can even like tell the difference between the Cyberman voices and Cody's Cyberman voice, because he does it so well. This part is so sad. This whole battle was like a tragedy for Celery. Just with like how much she like how bad she rolled, but then like the redemption at the end makes it like so perfect.
You go flying towards this Cyberman, ready to take its head clean off of its...
Yeah, I added some sound effects as well, just to give some more immersion. I think a few of these were different, but they were similar enough that I just used a newer one. You gotta have that strike. I like that. I like that.
Why is everyone 3 feet and under critting their rolls today?
I don't think Prince is 3 feet. What? I'm reading the chat. What does Anti mean when say I hope Ast burns? Oh Jesus, that's a heavy punch sound effect. And a little camera shake as well. So like playing an RPG, which I mean this is, but I mean like Earthbound.
And they're actually... Ooh, fun idea.
You don't want the architect to like say, "Oh, I have a fun idea." Yeah, that is a threat.
But like, all right.
Yeah, that's the old one and the new one. And you're not intended to read that. If you want to read that, then you're supposed to pause it. I don't intend people to read that just as it comes up.
No. Oh, son of a bitch!
You see, it's funny because I cut off right before she says the swear word. Oh, this edit! I like that edit. So basically that's Senator Armstrong, obviously, and Raiden and the whole meme. And basically how you do that is there's this feature in DaVinci called tracking, and probably another editing software as well, where it basically just allows you to track like one part of the image, and the program tries to do its best. It doesn't really work all of the time. I have to like make 3 separate splices, and then I had to stitch them together. But yeah, it's easier. It's not actually that complicated. I think it looks great, and it's a lot easier than just, you know, going frame by frame, moving the image. And I think it looks a lot better too. At least for when it's like really shaky like that.
No!
Damn!
And there's the bot.
And there's the botch. I love Cody's delivery on that.
As a cone attack.
I'm happy you like it. Yeah, that's just a little effect to show the radius. I mean, the effect, it's not much, but really, there is a website where you can like download effects, and I downloaded some fire effect and I shaded it green. Okay, I don't know why that's the funniest edit for me. I might have skipped a few turns. Oh damn, I just realized for the first time you're getting roasted in the chat. Jesus. And there... I mean, do I even have to explain that one? Like, yeah, this one is completely different. See, now it's half your awareness. While before it was easier to botch, but also easier to crit.
My God.
Yeah, I really tried to make the stream... Did you hear that? Your party does complement each other very well. Because, like, you're the agile one, V is sort of the tank, and you're agile, but you're also a margin, so you're like, you have a lot of surprises. And then Prince is, of course, the main magic user, but also personality, and personality, very underrated skill. I'm playing as a personality build, and it's very fun.
Yes!
Forgot the sound effect.
You know
Whatever.
what?
Oh, this part.
Angry eyebrows.
Yeah, because the thing is, okay, there's a small chance I might have cut it out. But I watched this. I don't think you ever said that she erased her mouth. So I was like, she drew angry eyebrows, but she still has the goofy mouth. Which is so funny, because like she's trying to be intimidating.
If a throw
I think this is one of the parts where I consider that in a speech bubble, but I was like, it's gonna be like a Wikipedia article. People aren't gonna like have enough space to read it. Oh yeah, that's another positive thing about the speech bubbles, because a lot of the combat is like trying to figure stuff out, which that stuff I can just cut out. But then there's also like explaining rules. Sometimes that's fine, but like if I wanna like find some place where I can cut out time and save some time, I can like cut out Cody or someone explaining a rule and just add it as a speech bubble instead. Because sometimes there's a lot of rules. It also doesn't help that this is the first one, so there's like a lot of elementary stuff that needs to be explained. Yeah, I was kind of sad. I wasn't sad when I first watched this, when I realized it was Kyle. I was like, man, that's a disgusting sound effect. Yeah, I'm glad they fixed guard down in the new update. Because guard down is actually bullshit. Roll 2 dice, pick the lowest one, and add -2t. By the way, one thing I wanted to bring up earlier, but I just straight up forgot, was when the characters are like appearing on the screen, like the renders, so they're sort of bouncing, right? And I made sure to make Celery, because I'm not sure if it's like goop or like rubber or whatever, but she's very stretchy, so whenever Celery came up, maybe not all the times, but a lot of the times when she like popped up, I made sure that she was like extra bouncy. I just figured it fit the character.
Oh, fuck!
I'm gonna kicking his ass.
Cody has like he's got a great voice.
Another crit.
Okay, so let's just appreciate this, that you roll a 10, then another 10, and like I'm thinking, alright, I will add like a normal sound effect that's like down when you hit a crit. I already explained that, but when you hit 2 crits in a row, I know it's technically not a crit because it's a solid die. Then I decided to just make it a little bit more special. I pitched it up a little bit, and I whoa! But then I figured, alright, that's enough with that. But then you roll another d10.
10.
No, it's fine. Oh shit.
Crit.
Okay, yeah, so, okay, of course it's an homage to the Dragon Ball Z Abridged, you know, Cell dying. It sort of represents, you know, the Cyberman dying, but it also sort of feels like how I felt at that moment, because I really didn't expect you to hit another 10, especially after he already crit, so it, what, like 4 10s in a row? But yeah, that had me dying, and it's still one of my favorite edits, if not my favorite edit. I also tried to make him sing, I didn't really match it to the vocals or anything. But then the do. Yeah. Yeah, it's good, it's good. This was such a great session. I mean, all of them are great, but this was a great session.